Today, let's start with a little disclaimer. This episode will be held in English.
They're maximizing the benefit it can bring to the Chinese customers.
Says Victoria, head of the EFS China office. She's here today together with her colleague Chloé, who is the head of marketing in the EFS China office, to talk about our China team, the projects that they're doing there, and the Chinese car industry in general. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the EFS podcast. I want to welcome my two great guests today from EFS Team China, Victoria and Chloé. So please welcome. Hello. How did you come here? Why are you here? And how are you?
Hi, everybody. This is Victoria Feng, or Ganlu Feng from EFS China. I've been working for EFS for already 8 years almost, and really excited to be here, be back to the office after 3.5 years. Due to the whole corona control and lockdown. And I am now the head of the China team, and really honored to be here. And thanks again, Rob, for the invite to share with everybody our business in China and our team in China.
The honor is on our side.
Yeah, so hello, this is Chloé. I'm the responsible for the marketing and communication activities for EFS China. Yeah, and for this time, it's the first time that I have been in our Vietnam office. I was quite excited and very looking forward to seeing you.
So we will also talk more in this episode about the trends and the Chinese vehicle industry and car industry. So, but before we get there, actually, let's jump a bit back and go back to our China team, because we are actually very curious. You know, a lot of us haven't met you yet, don't know you yet. Also, it was a hard time the last 3 years, have we heard? So, maybe tell me about Team China. So you're based in Shanghai, is that correct?
To be more exact, we actually have an office in Beijing and an office in Shanghai. Me and Chloé, we are from the Beijing office, and we also have colleagues in Shanghai.
Yeah, and how did this all start?
If we really trace back to the first footprint EFS ever made in China, I would say it has to do with the founder of EFS, Truls, who set his foot to Chinese market, to China, about 15 years ago, when he saw that there is a huge potential of Chinese automotive industry. He went there, he tried to start a certain business there. And so that's like the first footprint 15 years ago. The official foundation of EFS China office is actually in the year 2019, where we felt it's time to build a solid home base for the colleagues in China. So we set up an office there, officially registered there.
And what was the first big project that we did in China?
Yeah, the first big project we did in China is much earlier than the office is actually founded. It's in the year 2015, where we set up the entire characteristics management framework for the largest bus manufacturer in the world. Yeah, and that took 6 or 7 months, and it was quite successful. And we are actually 2 years ago, in 2021, I personally was again involved in a project with that specific client when they wanted to start something new. So we have maintained a very good relationship with that one, our first client in China.
So, which brings me generally to the question, can you tell me a bit about the EFS team in China? How does it work, and which kind of projects are you doing?
Yeah, we now have after the foundation from 2019, even though the business in China has started quite much earlier than the actual foundation of the office, but the team is growing a lot in the past 3 years. And we now have a young, energetic, and very motivated team. And we are doing all kinds of projects in the area of, let's say, product strategy, where we are helping our client to understand what's going to happen in next 10 years, technology-wise, consumer requirements-wise, also the whole regulation development-wise, to try to paint them a clearer picture of the future to make and define the products for the future. That's one of the big topics we're doing. Another big topic is about platform and modularity, where we help the client to manage their complexity. And in a very close link to that, we're also supporting the client to do target costing and cost down, because cost, even though many Chinese OEMs, they are now thinking about surviving in China, so sales volume is their top priority. But also some of them started to think about profitability, so they started to raise the awareness of cost management. So that's also a big topic. And we are also doing a little bit IT relevant projects, similar like EFS Austria. The topic in IT for EFS China is more about IT tendering management. Yeah, that's in general what do we do.
And how does the interaction between EFS Austria or EFS Europe and the Team China work?
Mm-hmm. I think we have kept a very good tradition between the two teams where we always cooperate. We see each other as one team. For me, EFS China, it's just an office there, but we are always part of EFS as a whole. And all the projects we are dealing with since the very beginning, it's always a cooperation between the China team and the European team. Before Corona time, we always have flying experts, flying colleagues from Vienna almost once a month to China to do projects together for Chinese clients. But the last 3.5 years, things changed a little bit due to Corona. I'm really hoping that after, starting from 2013, we can then go back to where all of us are physically on site at the client instead of virtually via video phone in the past 3 years for the cooperation.
No, it's very interesting because actually in both cases, I once was one of these experts who was flying in on one of the projects. You remember, Victoria? I think it's already a long time ago now.
2017 or 16.
Yeah, more than 5 years. And also last year, I supported the China team with one of the projects, which was fully remote. Of course, it was through Corona times. So yeah, I would also say we kept actually a close connection to each other. And so it's very interesting, of course, to work with the Chinese team because you're really doing mostly with for us, of course, new brands, this really vehicle and product based project. So it's a lot of fun working together. Yeah. My question was, is it actually possible if that somebody from our European team can work together with you? And you just answered this by actually it's anyway happening. So just, if somebody might be interested from our side, maybe he can just get in touch with you if he has a special expertise to offer.
Sure.
Let's get to another big topic. So there are some milestones on the way. We established a business. We had our first big project in characteristics management, but there is, of course, another very big topic, a very big milestone, the Xuanyuan Award. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, right. I will start and then I'll hand over to Chloé, who is now responsible person from our side for the whole award. I'll more talk about the history, as I'm a bit older there. And the foundation of the award actually started in the year 2012, where Truls, the founder of EFS, had an idea with the boss or the chief editor of Auto Business Review, one of the most influential automotive business magazine in China. And the two of them had an idea of setting up a fully independent award in China where they can really observe and evaluate the vehicles so as to understand the competence development of the OEMs in China. Of course, not only Chinese OEM, but in general, the vehicles that are manufactured in China from foreign brands as well, to see how everything's developing, how it reflects the development of Chinese automotive industry. And ultimate motivation is, of course, to give awards to the ones that are worth it so that we can also motivate the others to keep progressing so that the entire automotive industry can be somehow inspired by the award. So that's the motivation, which started in the year 2012. And the actual foundation the first award is in 2013. So last year we had the 10th Xuanyuan Award, a big milestone as well. And Chloé will let you know more about the award.
Actually, we have 3 criteria to measure the kind of the year for the Xuanyuan Award. First of all is the innovation, like the innovation based on our user experience, like platform features, styling, and perceived quality, and so on. And secondly, we have the contribution to mobility in China. For example, the cost performance, fuel consumption, durability, sustainability, and energy efficiency, etc. And thirdly, we have the contribution to the Chinese industry development, which is the contribution to the product development, manufacturing, engineering, and the supply chain, and also for the business model. So that is our main criteria and main aspect to assess the vehicle. And a part of it, we have 4 teams in general to assess the real vehicle during November. We have 10 days assessment at beginning of the November each year with the 4 team concerning the user experience, HMI and ADAS experience, and also static and dynamic performance evaluation. Yeah, we have invited 4 partner companies to do the evaluation. EFS is the leader of the assessment team. We always generate the whole methodology of the assessment and to keep the consistency of the assessment for each team. And then we came out with our assessment result and gave the assessment report to the final jury session. And then the car of the year came out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And who was, for example, the winner last year and why?
For the last year, the winner is Li Auto L9, which is the most comfortable and the most innovative car, from my opinion. Yeah, and once Truls experienced this car, he always feels that this car is extremely comfortable for passengers. And for example, they have expanded more scenarios out of the traditional use cases of a car. For example, the camping scenario, which is popular in China market now, and also for the younger generation, they always drive their cars with some friends and to go somewhere for camping. And then thanks to the EV penetration, they could provide the electricity for more scenarios outside. We can regard a car like a engine for the electricity, yeah. And also such like the rest scenario in the car and entertainment scenario. All this scenario was expanded perfectly on this car.
Yeah, that's very interesting how the Chinese automotive sector develops. But of course, being from Europe, I would also be interested, are actually also like foreign cars in this award, in the competition? What is happening on that side?
Over the past 10 years, this year is the 11th, I think I really see that Xuanyuan Award is acting as a window to the Chinese automotive industry, where we really can feel the participants for the award is somehow reflecting what's happening in the industry. For example, the top 20 list we have every year. Normally we have 60 to 80 participants or nominees nominated by the OEM, and then we narrow it down through the assessment to top 20. And for the past 3 to 4 years, there are less and less foreign brands that appears in the top 20 list. They are losing their advantage in China, and the product competence itself is also losing attractiveness in China.
And why do you think that is? Is it only that the Chinese cars are having a better quality, or is it also that the Chinese cars are, of course, meeting the taste of Chinese customers better because they're developed for them? Is it a mix of both, or are there any other reasons in your point of view?
Yeah, I think with the whole EV started to play a big role, and especially for the Chinese EV startups, they focusing on making a real EV, a pure EV, instead of this converted EV. So they somehow restructuring the concept of EVs. So they are making the EV the best fit for the real usage, for the real user experience. They are maximizing the benefit it can bring to the Chinese customers. And yeah, that's in addition to what you just said about Chinese people understanding Chinese people better. And I think, yeah, in addition, yeah, the foreign brands, they are I think their awareness has been raised. I saw from the Shanghai Auto Show, many foreign brands even BMW are saying that China is the home of BMW, and they definitely will put more focus on understanding the Chinese consumer and design their product with the orientation to the real needs of the Chinese customers.
And what do you think the other way around? Of course, if the Chinese cars, because they're getting better and better quality-wise and use case-wise, if they are developed for Chinese customers, will they then also be able to have this success in other markets? Because maybe the other customers are working a little bit different?
For me, it's a bit hard to say. I thought that if the cars are, like Chloé just mentioned, Li Auto, it's very good. It's very comfortable in terms of NVH. It's also really well balanced between the whole driving performance and its comfort. So it's a very well balanced vehicle. And if I imagine how Li Auto the sales performance will be if they really decide to come to Europe, I'm not really sure, because for Chinese customers, the car now is more than just a transportation tool. And with this L9 targeting the young house dad, so they are actually, that's perfect for you, Ralph, with a new baby. Yeah, it's really for 3 generations sitting in a car together. It's a large SUV. Everybody's everybody's requirements or all the passenger requirements are taken into consideration in this car in terms of comfort and entertainment. But that's because the connotation of car is getting larger and larger. It's not just a tool for transportation. It's kind of a second home. So for Chinese, this is the meaning of a car is getting larger. But I'm not really sure if that's the same case in Europe. So my impression of the European car consumers are still, they more or less still regard the car as a transportation tool. As long as whether you are ICE or NEV, you should be able to bring me from one destination to another. That's the major point. So I'm not really sure if that really fits. So here is what I see actually EFS comes in. If we talk back to our business, I think EFS, one of our big advantages is that we understand both culture and both market very well. So for the European OEMs who are entering China, we are actually supporting them. Last year, our colleagues are doing a project for a largest truck manufacturer in Europe to help them define a new product for China. And in the same time, we are also supporting the Chinese OEMs who are dedicated to enter Europe, not only passenger car, but also commercial vehicle. I think it's a natural step. Once they really win in their home market, they would like to expand to other countries. But whether they will really make a success in the foreign countries, for now, I see NIO is doing a great job. Because NIO, they are really capturing the cultural fate in Europe. So they have an entire European team set up in Europe with Europeans. And all the taste of European customers are taken into consideration for their whole marketing activity and also product definition in Europe. But for other brands like BYD, to be honest, I don't think they are doing as well as NIO. I see advertisements of them, of BYD in Vienna yesterday while I was walking on the street. And I think their understanding of European market or the culture here are still, there are rooms for improvement, I would say. And I'm hoping that we can support them here.
Unfortunately, this is a very interesting conversation, but we have to come to an end. So I want to ask you a last question. Hearing this, so we are supporting Chinese customers to go to Europe, European car companies, OEMs, to go to China. Where do you see EFS Team China actually in 10 years from now?
That's actually a very hard question. To make it short, I have really big hope together with our top management of EFS Global. We all have big hope of our business in China. And in 10 years, I would see 50 to 100 people of our team in China doing similar things, helping the clients understand the future and helping them understand the different markets they want to go in. So the topic-wise, it might stay the same, but competence-wise and also the team-wise, I would say that we are on a very good way to develop and we will grow larger and larger. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Great last words. Then, thank you, Victoria, Chloé. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
So much for the latest episode of the EFS podcast. We hope you had a lot of fun and got some interesting insights. And see you and hear you the next time, probably again with an episode in German. Bye bye. Ciao.